Good start there to mini camp today. It's really for us an extension of what we've been doing the last couple of weeks of our OTAs. The practice is almost identical. We'll change it up a little bit over the next 2 days, just the structure and maybe have some call-up periods, things of that nature, just to keep the guys from it getting stale. But we're seeing gradual improvement. It's been great. 6 practices the previous 2 weeks, and then 1 here today, and you can see growth from each guy. You can see growth from each unit, and it's pretty cool to see it all come together. So, like expected, we had everyone in the building here today. Whether they're out there on the field or not, it's another story. But it was good to get everyone together.
How did you feel the growth has gone from the first couple OTAs now into minicamp at that left tackle position between Karan and Oz?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. Hard to jump to any conclusions just yet, especially at that position where you really can't be judged until you got pads on. And so both guys are taking turns and they're making the most of their opportunities. I think the head's still spinning for almost everybody on offense, but certainly in the O-line room, we got a lot of new things we're throwing at them. Coach Roshar and Coach Devan and Coach Cable, they're doing fantastic jobs, coaching them up, and they're on them constantly throughout practice. So the cool thing to see is Ozzie for a guy that's a young player. He's really polished in terms of the mental aspect of the game. We're looking to key up some things, quicken up his steps, his identification process, and Karan's done a nice job just for the little bit that we had him as well, just the growth prospects. So far so good.
Is there something specific that you're looking for to say for a guy that he's taken a hold of this job? This is now his job, and it's somebody else's to train.
I always go back. To me, the number one job of an offensive tackle, doesn't matter right or left, is to pass protect. And so you need to be able to block their best pass rusher one-on-one, and that's the number one job. And everything we can get out of them in the run game will be gravy on top of it. But we got to find out who the best pass protector is, the most consistent pass protector is, and really that's for all 5 guys up front.
I know things can change over the course of the next couple of months with the offensive line, but what does it feel like for you having, seems like 4 other spots effectively solidified and just being able to zero in on that left tackle spot?
Yeah, we feel good about the rest of them gelling together, and that's really what it comes down to, is they have to spend time as a unit over and over and over again. And game 1, we're going to be far from a finished product, and hopefully by the time we get through the bye week, we'll start seeing some of these guys come together and really gel as a unit. I think as a whole, because it's a new offense and it's a lot of new, it doesn't matter if you're Joe Tooney and you've been playing for 10 plus years or you're one of these young people that we're talking about. We have to coach them all the same right now. So it's not like we can just concentrate on one spot and that battle. It's really the whole unit and the depth behind it as well. We've talked about, I think consistently through the springtime, 8, 9, even 10 linemen are going to be called upon at some point this year.
And since you've gotten in the building, what have you come to appreciate about Cole Kmet, both from your film study of seeing him in the past and then getting to know him as a person?
It's a high intelligence factor, is clear from the get-go. He's a pro, takes his work seriously, positive energy, great teammate. You could tell instantly when he was around the other offensive players, the rest of the team, there's an instant respect level. I believe he's been here the longest out of anybody on the roster right now, and you can tell that they respect him for that. There's a lot to be said there. He's done things the right way for a long time, and so it's been great, not just him learning the offense, but helping others in the process as well.
And then last week, you were telling us about shutting things down, making them go back in the huddle because things didn't even sound right as they're calling the plays. How did you feel things were from an operational standpoint, just from that like huddle standpoint?
We're getting better. Yeah, we're getting better. Is it where it needs to be? No. The longer practice goes, the more the fatigue sets in, and you can see it starting to trickle away. And so that's where, as a coaching staff, we got to stay on our P's and Q's to make sure it is getting done right. And I think the guys are responding to it. They're taking pride in it. They want it to be done the right way, and we're seeing growth there as well.
As you've reconnected with DeAndre Swift, what are some of the things you've emphasized with him that you want to get out of him this year as you guys get reacquainted?
Well, I think I've got a history with him. I was with him when he was a rookie, and then certainly my first year calling it. there in Detroit. He was with me as well. So here's what I know about him is he is a fierce competitor. And that's what I love about him is when the lights are bright, you're going to know exactly what you're going to get. If you tell him that you're going to need 1 yard, 4 yard, whatever that is, he's going to find a way to put his shoulder down and move the pile and get that done for you. It goes back to what we're trying to instill for the entire offense, not just that particular player. Year 10, year 1, it's all about the basics here this springtime, the fundamentals. What does a proper pass block from the backfield look like? What's ball security look like? What's the proper catching the football look like? We're breaking it down to the studs and growing it up from there. So for him right now, it's the tracks on all of our run game, being consistent and true to that. And the pass pro is a little bit new for him as well.
Do you have a guess or an assumption as to why DJ Moore statistically took a step back last year?
Your guess is as good as mine on that one. Yeah, I think what we've seen the last, call it 6-7 weeks, has been a guy that's highly motivated. He wants to be as complete of a receiver as he can possibly be, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get there.
And with DJ Moore, we've seen him in the slot a little bit in the early goings here. It's a place he hasn't played much historically. Is there something there that you think is interesting and wanna check out with DJ Moore in the slot?
Yeah, we're not necessarily putting guys and plugging them into certain spots and saying stick and stay. We're moving guys around. We're getting a great feel this springtime of what guys can and they can't do. And then once we get into training camp and certainly further along in training camp, we'll start honing in and having them master certain routes and their route tree that way. So right now it's really a free for all. Coach L is kind of moving everybody around. Who can be our choice route runners? Who can do some of the option things? And we're taking it from there.
I wanted to get your reaction on Frank Ragnow's announcement yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know if I've been around a tougher player in my life than him. He was a pleasure to coach, a pleasure to be around. He makes everyone around him better. The number of injuries that he had and he was still able to play through, it's pretty remarkable. And I think whether you were in that locker room with them or you competed against them, I think everybody in this league had a high level of respect for him.